get the kill. He is going to get the kill for Kevin. Same player.
Getting that regen and then going into damage. Working out.
Every time Ruby's in a bad spot, he gets caught up by the silence cut. He needs to wait for it to get off. He will wear off. He tries to run away, but Trigger will find him with the dash. But at what cost? So low, he's on the wrong side of things. Bart will only be barely escape out of there right away with this. He's trying to get his team. Rages around. And honestly, no cost whatsoever. We finally have our first kill of the game, and it goes towards Triggerfinger. It will end up picking up the first turret of the game as well, which is a really huge swing. And a
Hello everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the Awesomenauts Rumble June Gathers Tournament. Alright, we're here with all of the best teams out of the community for an awesome day of Awesomenauts competitive gameplay and casting and all the good stuff that you guys come here to see. I am Uber Renzi, and I will be casting the first set of games here along with Slow Wolf. How you doing?
Hey, Brancy, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to be here. It's going to be a pretty interesting day. From what I understand, like at least from the rosters that I've seen, there are a lot of really good players here, and there's going to be some exciting gameplay to go into. So I am raring to get going. But before that, we have a couple things that we need to go through, don't we?
Absolutely. Alrighty, so usual start of the stream, start of the tournament kind of stuff. Although it is the second day, we still got some stuff to mention. First of all of our plugs and whatnot. We've got all of our information about Awesomenauts Rumble, including the gathers, social media, video, or VODs, videos, everything you can imagine, all the trailers, down below, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff. We've got our own Discord as well, where you can chat with some of the moderators or admins, some of the people who help organize the Awesomenauts Rumble, or even casters like yours truly. And we've also got a, I'd also like to talk about the Awesomenauts Scrim Portal, which is a fantastic Discord channel/Steam group that is great for setting up scrims and getting into competitive Awesomenauts. Fantastic stuff, and their Discord should be down below, or it'll be posted a link or anything of that sort. And we definitely encourage that. And is there anything else I'm missing? Oh, and because of the E3 that is going on, you can buy digital tickets on Twitch down below for, I believe, $15, I think. And anything you buy there, as well as any donations you make or bits, will go directly to Awesomenauts Rumble and support future events and fun prize pools. So that's pretty interesting. You can help contribute to our tournaments. But enough talking about plugs and social stuff and money. We have also got the team names here, and we've got 4 teams here in this tournament so far, or at least now, after we have weeded out the week. We've got the 4 best teams that have made it into the finals. And we'll be leading up to the grand finals soon enough, but we'll have losers, winners, and 1 extra match as well before the grand finals. But we've got the team names of, we've got XiPang Disciples, we've got Terribly Named Team, or Team TNT, we've got Check Y'all Selves Esports, I love that name, and Thank You Badass. Those are the 4 team names and 4 teams that will be competing today. And
lots of big names on each of those teams too. Yeah, lots of good players. I mean, yeah, Body Hunter, Paulo, YOLO, Trigger, Nikki, Ubi, Edster, Dave, Pushkin, Badass, Ketchup, Jumbo. Like these are all names that have been around for a very, very long time, and those are names from every single team. So these are some of the top possible teams you can make with the community that we've got right now, and that's gonna be nothing but fantastic. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to that. Out of these guys, who do you think is going to end up taking the whole cup today?
Well, there's a lot of different players on these teams. Like, you've got Nikki's team, which is Check Y'all Selves Esports. They always have the silliest names, and I love it. They don't really stick to anything. They change it up every tournament, which is kind of funny. But, you know, Nikki, Ubi, Dave W, and Edster, that's some really good players, some really scary players. I actually played in the qualifiers with my own team, Team Run, and we got absolutely annihilated by them. Fantastic team there, and a lot of people, just because they see Nikki and Edster and like Ubi and Dave W, all some like some of the best players in the game, maybe like the best player in the game, considered by some people, like might be in this team, depending on who you think. And that's a pretty obvious choice for who might win. A lot of people think like, you know, oh, that team's good, very good. And then you've got other teams as well. XiPang Disciples, it's got Body Hunter, Paulo, Mr. Manager, Law, all sorts of great players. Every team has a chance. I think a lot of people really want to see Paulo and Nikki duke it out, but every team here is like got good enough players to have a very solid chance at this tournament here and winning the $60 cash prize, as well as tons of Awesomenauts DLC and various other things and goodies. But personally, I mean, I got hopes for Nikki, but it would be cool to see XiPang Disciples maybe take it to them in the grand finals and take the tournament and win, because last tournament in May, it was actually very, very close, and we had like a 10-hour stream almost, because the grand finals went through a bracket reset. It was like the max games played. It was insane. But we have been dragging on about this for long enough. We have a draft to get into, and we are finally ready to show you guys the draft. But first, a little note, we are not jumping straight into the winners or losers finals due to a slight time constraint. We are actually going to be live casting the last match of a set here. It is 1-for-1 for both these teams, terribly named team and XiPang Disciples. So Mr. Bill will probably be pulling up the draft now, and you'll be able to see. So both these teams have won a match. So whoever wins this is going to be going to winner finals, and whoever loses this is going to be going to losers finals, just to clarify. So there's only going to be one match in this set. Then we will be streaming the proper winner and losers finals. So we're sorry for the inconvenience, but I've been talking about this for long enough. Slow Wolf, would you like to get us started on this draft?
Sure thing. Terribly named team versus XiPang Disciples. Terribly named team ends up banning out a Genji and a Froggy G over the course of the whole drafting process. XiPang Disciples banning out a Swiggins and an Ix. Interesting bans, very powerful mods across the board, but because a lot of the cast is pretty balanced, you're going to see some interesting pickups here as well. Terribly named team ends up picking up Penny, Fox, Jimmy and the Lux 5000, and Xenia. A very gank-heavy, high-damage team that's capable of putting out a lot of burst very fast. XiPang Disciples are going to be picking up Scoop, Vinny and Spike, and Leon. And just from a glance, this team is very permission-heavy. They do not like giving ground for free, and if you get too close, there'll be a hammer to stop you from initiating or from escaping. There's tongues to stop you from getting too close without paying a pretty significant price and being silenced while you're at it. And Vinny and Spike is just Vinny and Spike. There's a lot of damage wrapped up into a ball of silence and blind and all kinds of nasty stuff there. So there's a lot of interesting interplay between these two teams. What do you think about these two teams, Uber?
Well, the team's actually like, well, the blue team, you see a couple of slightly less meta knots, I guess would be the word. Scoop and Leon, you don't see as much play now. Leon is still very great because of that silence, and Scoop kind of fallen down from his prime, I guess. He's not like an auto pick character. He's a little lacking in the damage department. His healing isn't as good, though Holy Cup is really nice, and he's still very like beefy, or I guess ice creamy, because he can soak up a lot of damage, and just kind of, it doesn't matter because the other team will just use all of their abilities on Scoop, and then it's just like nothing happens. He's ice cream. He doesn't care, but so he should be able to take quite a bit of abuse from the red team. Even though the red team does have a lot of damage, I'm not sure how much abuse he could take. So we will probably go down fairly easily. Blue team has pretty solid damage, but it's all very instant. Like, you got to pick and choose, because like getting close as Leon can be quite dangerous against a team like that with Lux and Penny. Depends on if you have very high auto attack damage on Penny, or after Vinny uses a spike dive, he's gonna have to be careful of the bubble gun. He'll probably have the silence dive as well at some point in the game. He might go for max damage dive. We'll see, but he might go for max damage dive. And, well, there's Weaken Cloud, but, you know, you gotta be careful. Vinny's auto attack isn't the best at base, so I don't know who I really think is going to, like, straight up win this via the draft. I'd say red team just has a lot more, red team has a lot more damage. Just to be fair, Vinny is really strong, but red team's got the Xenia, they got the Penny. Lux is gonna have that great auto attack and be able to go in with the charge. And, I mean, it's AI Station too, so having poke is gonna be very good, and the red team definitely wins in that regard. Jimmy's got Penny, all sorts of good stuff. But we're going, and something I think I forgot to mention that I probably should, is that this match is actually going to be live as well, because we're going to have to get straight into it, because this match is just starting now, and we're going to have to see who goes into the winners and losers finals because of this match. But I think we've been talking about the draft long enough, unless you have anything to say, Mr. Slow Wolf.
Not really. You got pretty much hit everything on the head, and honestly, the Xenia pickup in particular being the last pickup for the red team, for a terribly named team, is going to put a big dent into Scoop's HP, potentially or otherwise. If you are ready to start with the game, which is currently live casted, about as live can get, then I am ready to go as well.
Alrighty, I'm at the 21-second mark in this replay. Would you like me to give you a countdown?
That would be very helpful.
Alrighty, 21 seconds, starting at 3 and going at go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And here we are on AI Station 205. It's a map that, you know, has been kind of topsy-turvy as far as the competitive scene is concerned. Lots of people like it, but I think more people don't. But overall, it seems to have been picked here compared to a bunch of other, you know, potential options. So on the red team, you've got your Jimmy and, wow, you got your Jimmy 5000 being played by Yellow, you got your Penny being played by Jas, and you've got your Xenia being played by Luco. On the blue team, you've got Blah being played by your Leon, you've got Vinny and Spike being played by Mr. Manager, and you've got Body Hunter playing your Scoop. He's probably the only the only Scoop that I've seen in competitive.
The only Body Hunter.
The only Body Hunter is also true, I'm not wrong. But he's also the only Scoop I've seen in competitive, play Scoop successfully, so I don't expect this to be a very weak showing of the character at all. Actually, he's the one that kind of turned me on to the idea that Scoop is still viable, despite the fact that he seems to have been hit by a nerf bat hard enough that he doesn't remember who he is anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Scoop definitely does still have his use. It's just he's not as much as a complete, utter powerhouse and tank at the same time as he was a long time ago. In the olden times, he still has his uses of being able to soak up a lot of damage, which he's doing right now, as Blah is almost going to go down, as well as Mr. Manager, in that fight and exchange. But Body Hunter helping his teammates get out, Mr. Manager grabbing some health, but now we got Body Hunter being on this bottom tower with not much he could do, doing a little bit of damage with that one stage of banner with the triple scoop, but going to teleport out. We got Blah and Mr. Manager just playing really passively. Manager's going to teleport back and get some early upgrades as well. Potentially a bag full of goldfish, I'd imagine. And there it is. And Blah taking a lot of damage, almost going to go down to Jas there, but going to be able to get out with about 1 bar and going to teleport out as well. So really, red team is actually holding a lot of that ground. And they got the push going like they are, but Vinny can just go in with the dive and just to completely obliterate the droid wave, which is nice. They'll be able to deal with the fly droids very easily, but red team has the ground control, has the area control right now, and it's going to be hard for the blue team to push back into that with Mr. Manager being very hurt. Going to have to back off. Jas taking a lot of damage, going to go down to Blah, and Blah going to get that last hit with the auto attack and get the second kill for the blue team here. And yeah, that's gonna be a good advantage in kills and potentially another one. But Luco gonna throw out the scissors in order to stop Blah from getting the frag on him. Naturally not gonna take the creep, just gonna teleport straight out, not taking any risks. And we've got Jas picking up the Starstorm statue. Easy, free damage, quite potent, and well, it's AI Station. The early bit of the game can be a little more tense. It's a little more turtly, and that it's similar to how Sorona is as well, just having a very big mid. It's not very small, like, you know, there's some space in the mid on every map, as Luco's actually going to go down to Luco is going to get the frag on Mr. Manager there, and he's going to go down, giving the first kill to the red team, as Yolo going to take a lot of damage, going to be able to use that charge to get out with Body Hunter eating a pulse, but still behind the tower. He's going to be a-okay. And gonna maybe throw out those hammers with that range hammer. They're gonna do a bit of extra damage, and well, there's the pulse again, but here comes the bindings. He's actually gonna pick up a kill on Luco, who's getting a little too cocky with those scissors, and it's just gonna stand right next to the turret and eat all of those bullets to the face, giving another kill to the blue team here, making it 3. And now Body Hunter actually landing the nice hammer on Jas as well, gonna get a push going onto the bottom lane. And Mr. Manager going to help him out as well. So that's going to be a little bit of chip damage for the blue team here on this bottom tower, with Blah being in biz, waiting patiently to strike with the Pirate to Leon. Going to get a little bit of damage on Yolo there, with Mr. Manager going to throw in a lot of damage. And going to bring Yolo down to very low health. There's the charge. He's going to charge out away from Body Hunter's bindings there. And, well, just kind of some resets, a little more neutral now. All the droids, they're pushed up to mid. And that's just a nice chunk of tower damage to the blue team there.
So I'm looking at their builds right now, and Jimmy's got both ranks of nanobots right out of the gate. That's not something that you see very often on PUBG. This man has to wait for a second as the charge comes in and puts Body Hunter into a corner, but nobody puts Body Hunter into a corner without Body Hunter at least getting a return kill. Or 2 return kills as Blob picks up the kill onto Luco and onto the Penny Fox as well. YOLO and Leon are the only ones still left alive by the end of that. A 2-for-2 exchange. That was brutally fast and really chaotic. Hard to keep up with there. As I was mentioning, though, Jimmy, typically speaking in pubs, gets danger pins really, really early on, and right now YOLO just has nanobots, which is like still a really good upgrade. You pick it up. Why do you think you went nanobots first in this case? Why not danger pins?
Danger pins is not bad damage. It's somewhat cost efficient as well. You paid 210 solar for 210 damage. Damage of solar is pretty good, and well, he just wanted the extra sustain as well. AI Station does not have that much sustain on the map. There's not that many health packs compared to other maps, at least not in as you know, less precarious of positions as Jazz is almost going to get
manager
get punished by gonna get taken out for trying to get greedy and kill that Penny, but not gonna let that happen, says YOLO. Gonna pick up the kill on him in retaliation, and Blah gonna miss the pull as well, getting that whiff with the tongue, and well, now the blue team is down a man, and well, it's more like a fish, though I guess it is a man-fish, a fish man, but we got Luco grabbing some pulls like Jazz might try. No, stop. No, nah. That's not happening. So
Yellow's currently cornering the Leon. Leon's going to manage to turn around and get a tongue off. It's going to help to get the kill. Luco is going to go down to Blah's sword strike in the very end there. 1-for-0 pick off. 6 minutes in. It's 6-4 currently for the blue team. That's really good. XiPang Disciples are doing a good job of keeping the area pretty level. And keep in mind, this is a tied-up series. Whoever wins this does end up going to the winners bracket finals, which is a step closer to winning than the other way around. So it's worth winning this right now instead of having to go through a bunch of extra games by having lost this one. Interesting build developments here. We got Xenia now with both ranks of scissor damage, Virtual Girl, and the Bobcat. So lots of damage on her right click and access to a bit of a dodge roll. We've Scoop picking up the Holy Cup. We got Leon going into backstab, which is pretty standard. And Vinny and Spike going for a really, really aggressive kind of build with the boots and Solar Crab Burgers right out of the gates. That way he can stick around and do as much damage as possible. Mr. Manager kind of going the Bad Joe route right now. What do you think of the Penny build going into Pulse early? Some people have been saying that Pounce is better these days.
Well, you can't really go wrong with Pulse either. I don't really play Penny, so I don't have that much of a say in that argument.
Oh no!
It's going to go down. It doesn't matter because the 510 damage Pulse to help finish off Mr. Manager with YOLO picking up the last hit with his auto attack on him. 510 damage, that's pretty good, and it might just be worth it to buy those Pulse damage upgrades, but I don't really play Penny that much. I don't have that much of a say in it, but Pulse does more damage than Pounce at base and with upgrades. Pounce is still very good though, and being able to get certain mechanics keeps him charged.
Really good bindings.
Auto attack. Oh, but they're gonna trade frags here with Blah being able to pick up the auto attack kill onto Luco, but Jazz going in with the range on that auto attack and just gonna be able to pick up the hit as well with the claw. But Body Hunter going to eat a pulse, but Jazz is going to have to back out. He does not have the sustain like Body Hunter does. Having the Holy Cup and the Heal Hammer, able to heal up Vinny and himself quite effectively there, and Jazz going to have to back off. Well, we've got blue team trying to take control of the creep area, trying to take control of those mids. The very little amount of sustain that you have on this map being 1 health pack in the mid, 2 behind your turrets, and the creeps up the top of mid, as we got actually a bit of a team fight going on here, with YOLO throwing out the auto attacks, but Manager's going to get the dive kill onto Luco. Standard stuff. Manager actually able to get out alive as well. YOLO just checking to see if Blah's anywhere, but he spots him at that side turret there. But then there's the clone. Blah's in Viz. He's getting greedy. He's getting hungry for the frag, but there's the pull and the bindings. The excellent timing. Now Jazz is in a terrible spot. He's in the fire. He just does not want any of it, and he's going to go jump into the flames and not going to let the blue team have any of that yummy solar. Well, we got the blue team taking out this top tower here, and YOLO going to actually charge Blah all the way downtown, and Luco going to pick up the last hit with the scissors there, and some auto attacks just for good measure. So 7-9, not actually that slow of an AI station game. We're already seeing 2 towers down for the red team with none for the blue team, so blue team definitely had an advantage here. It's the XiPang Disciples doing a fantastic job with controlling that ground and getting the kills when they need to, and Scoop actually putting in a surprising amount of damage here and able to do the damage when he needs to in the team fight. It's actually doing more damage than Leon in total and almost catching up to the Vinny, no lie. So Body Hunter is definitely putting in his, you know, his side, like his portion of the damage here, and well, he's doing his job.
Yeah, the AoE on bindings does help a lot in that sense, and especially because he keeps popping them when the opponents are all clustered like this. As he goes in with a good hammer, bindings gets the kill, a double kill even, but at what cost as Yolo picks up the return death? But Yolo, can he get a double kill? He does not manage to get a kill, costless. Mr. Manager goes around, picks up all the soul on the ground, like getting all of his HP back, and that's going to be a 3 for 2. That is brutal, unfortunately, for the red team, but it is at least better than going 3 for nothing. All things considered, that's some chip damage on the bottom turret and not much else. It could have been worse, but wow, that was chaotic, very fast. Body Hunter going in with an incredible initiation off of the a well-placed hammer and then very well-timed bindings. Leon doing the work they needed to do, and then Vinny and Spike following up. By the end of it, the team fight capability out of this blue team seems to be really, really, really strong. Not to say that the red team can't do the same, though, with Pulse. Out comes the tongue. Body Hunter going in with some bindings. It's going to do a lot of damage, but is it going to be enough? Not quite yet. It kind of tickles everybody in this case. Vinny goes in with a dash. It's going to end up doing a decent amount. Yolo, now stuck in a weird situation, will have to charge out after Leon goes in to support Mr. Manager, who is under some assault there. Another little altercation, but the blue team kind of ends up on top of this, so they're going to gain some ground off of that.
It seems like, once again, I've pretty much underestimated the blue team's comp here, or just a team comp in general. It's like, oh, red team has all this damage. They have Penny, they have Ksenia, it seems like they have a better comp. Just kidding. Body Hunter doing like almost the most damage of the entire blue team, and Blog gonna pick up the frag, but Yolo not happy about that, gonna get the Danger Pin skill onto Blah. But we've got Body Hunter very, very low, just getting chased around by Yolo. Oh, he's still juking at the bindings! The 500 health bindings because of the one stage of Milk of Righteousness, able to get out alive. The sick jukes, the fantastic jukes, the scoop jukes, and he's able to get out of there alive. Yolo probably frustrated by that, but he's going to take his chances on this bottom tower and do a bit of chip damage here and there. A few bars there, a few bars here. That's all you need to do. But
yeah, that was really, really close chase. Body Hunter being like calmly managing to get the jukes off that was necessary to get out of there alive. But we'll see how that turns out in the near future. As the dash goes out and hits the red team retaliates with the well-placed pulse and continues to assert their dominance as the blue team, now very heavily wounded, will have to head back home and heal. There's going to be a little bit of a chip damage onto the blue turrets right now, just as the blue team goes back and heals, gets some HP, plays it easy. But it seems like the two teams are still very much on even keel here at the 12-minute mark. It's 13-10 right now in favor of XiPang Disciples, the blue team. How this goes kind of depends a lot, I think, on how the Vinny places his cloud on top of everything else. Really good tongue going to come out, but with no follow-up, it's not going to do very much. I'm confused as to how the Ksenia is going to do here, but this might have to wait. Ksenia taking a lot of damage. Tongue going to come out, going to do a decent amount. The return kill onto Blah is huge as Yolo goes nuts with the pulse from his Fox friend. Mr. Manager's just going to get out of there, no problem. Yolo's going to go ahead and go back to farming, and that's a really good 1-for-0 pick-off for the red team.
Yeah, something I'd like to point out, as it seems JS is currently dying. It doesn't look like it. They're fine. But we've got attack speed. We've got skill plate trophy onto Lux. We're not seeing auto-attack damage come out first. We're seeing the auto-attack speed come out first, which can be pretty good for money. You're paying 10 soul or less, but the attack speed only procs when you're not at like full health, 80% less health. You only have to take about 200 damage, but still, it's a little trickier to use, and it also messes up the auto attack timing as well. Well, not so much messes up, but it makes it faster, so it's a little harder to time your rattle waves. But it could be a more cost-efficient upgrade just due to the level scaling with the experience system. And, well, Jazz actually going to get pulled there. Going to take a lot of damage. Here's the initiation coming out. We got Body Hunter going with the bindings, but not going to hit anything. Just going to be able to heal himself, and that's about it. We got the pull onto Yolo. He's silenced, but he's going to be able to charge out once that silence wears off. And he is going to be able to kill these droids, and he is going to be A-okay. Well, we got the pull onto Luco. Not really going to do anything, though. He's able to get out, but the silence is just devastating for him. And, well, blue team... Team XiPang Disciples is going to be making quite a bit of push here, and they're going to have an area control. This is the classic choke point on AI Station, with the team in the lead just kind of jumping around at these jump pads, having the entire vertical control, and it being able to initiate whenever they want. Red team's got to play safe, and then there's the initiation with the pull onto Jazz, and managed to pick up the kill with the dive. But now he's in a bit of a pickle here, but he's got the Solar Crab Burgers, and the Creep's going to do 751 damage to Yolo, and the bindings as well. going to, let's say, forcefully dissuade YOLO from well, making any kind of initiation or retaliation there. With Luco taking a dive as well, they're going to be taking a ton of damage from that dive with the silence, and well, it's just too much damage on Vinny. It's so easy to land as well. There's another 751 damage. He's just throwing it out everywhere. You get some damage, and you get some damage, and you get some damage. That's pretty much what Mr. Manager is doing here, and Luco going to take a lot of damage as well. The Manager's got that dive on cooldown, 3 seconds. He's waiting to use it. He wants to kill Luco, but he's so hurt, but he's not able to pick up the kill of Luco. He's got no health, and the missile, the one singular missile, is going to pick up the kill onto Manager, while the blue team is going to have to back up and be careful, because now the red team is going to get that ground back, possibly even take this top tower if they can get a push going onto it. But well, we've got red and blue just kind of fighting it out in front of these towers, but Body Hunter actually going to go down while he's trying to defend that tower. Scoop not being so great at defending, and the strange pounce knockback there, or excuse me, just the charge knockback, going to knock Blob back a little after hitting the jump pad. But he is still alive. He's going to eat a 685 damage pulse, though, and the missile's coming out, not going to be able to hit him. And, well, Jazz actually going to take a dive for Shovel, so for threatening poor Leon there, poor Blah, with Manager throwing in the dive. Going to do a lot of damage with that low cooldown dive. Luco being very hurt and possibly trying to bait out Manager here, but Manager's not having any of it, just clearing and grabbing the solar that he needs to, with Luco and Jazz teleporting out. And looking at some upgrades here, we're seeing some new upgrades spot. We got Silence on Pulse, second stage Bobcat, and extra Silence on Vanish as well. So we're going to see a lot of Silence coming up from the red team now, which is going to be quite effective, especially against Vinny there with his low cooldown dive. But then here's the massive initiation. Blah's going to get the pull, and then there's the dive, and he's going to get the auto attack last hit onto Luco, being too squishy. Ksenia is just not having it, but the juke going to miss the dive on Jazz, but he's going to go down anyways to the pull from Blah. And now the blue team is 3 versus 1 here against YOLO. And they're going to be able to get a ton of push onto this top tower. YOLO going to take a ton of damage from that dive. And he's just here. He's trying to get something down. There's the danger pins. There's the auto attacks. But he's got to back up. That tower's going to go down. And now Luco is back and ready to help YOLO out. But blue team not going to push the base. They're not going to be risky. They're going to back out. But they've got that top tower down on AI Station before the bottom tower. That almost never happens. Usually that bottom tower goes down first just because of how hard it is to push the top tower, just due to how far it is and how the droids have to travel. But we have got Jazz, YOLO, and Luco just kind of rotating around, getting the ground back. They're playing way more aggressive now. They are not letting the blue team just stomp all over them, but that super droid might help with that stomping, as there's a ton of damage coming out. I can't even count it all. So many numbers, but Luco, Jazz, and YOLO are all going to be incredibly hurt, with the blue team being pretty much just fine. And now, Jazz and Luco are in a bit of a bad spot, but Blah's in a worse spot. He's going to take a ton of damage, but all those icons over his head shows where he is in that invis. The missiles aren't going to hit him, and the binding ceiling from Holy Cup is going to be able to save Blah's life as he's going to teleport out. We got Luco walking back to base. Jazz and YOLO are just going to be doing their thing at this bottom tower here, where we got Jazz teleporting out. YOLO going to deal with the super droid and the droid wave in general here. And, well, I wanted to talk about upgrades, but I haven't really had that many opportunities. We're actually seeing movement speed in stealth. Oh, never mind, it doesn't matter. YOLO's going to throw out the missiles, but he's going to take a ton of damage. He's saving that charge in order to escape. Luco getting chased by the entirety of the blue team. One pull, excuse me. The hammer from Body Hunter going to be able to pick up the kill on Luco. And now it's the red team versus the world, or what remains of them, which is only one player now, with the YOLO just going in with the auto attacks. Blah's got no health, but he's going to be able to grab the health back. That's it. XiPang
That's game
he's
over.
going to be able to take this game. Game over, man. Game over. And, well, blue team's got this in the bag.
Yeah, XiPang Disciples had a really control-heavy team. Lots of silence, lots of snare, thanks to the scoop in particular, and the ability to kind of stick around after burst. The Holy Cup upgrade being incredibly helpful from the scoop. So that kind of support playstyle from scoop really making things like click. Honestly, there was a lot going on. Like you mentioned, high action-packed kind of game. You barely had time to talk about their items, and at the time you were talking about Skullplate Trophy on Jimmy and the Lux 5000. I actually liked that upgrade as an idea because it allowed him to use the nanobots more often. But in this particular case, I'm not sure if that was the right move. I think they needed to go for more damage all at once and to continue this bursty kind of playstyle, not play too aggressive. But you know what? One thing that is pretty sure about this, don't underestimate Scoop. And whatever you do, be careful if you're playing Ksenia. I really felt like Luco had a tough job this game, going up against the blue team.
Yeah, there is a lot of easy-to-apply CC. You've got a huge AoE on Spike Dive. That's a 1.5-second silence and 700 damage, because why not? You got Weaken Cloud, and you've got the Snare Hammer. And Hammer isn't exactly too hard to land. It's got great range, and the Snare duration can be quite potent, especially if you get some upgrades for it. And, well, Scoop definitely still has his place in this game in Awesomenauts, but it's just he kind of fell from his prime a little bit, but he has definitely been proven to be very viable. Just like Gnaw, Scoop could definitely put in some work if you play him right, if you build him right, and if you know what you're doing. He is most definitely a viable pick and competitive. And in general, really, if you've got a team to work with, maybe a different story in pubs, but Body Hunter proving that Scoop can get some stuff done, being able to heal up his team and do a fantastic job at it.
Mm-hmm. This is also a really kill-heavy game. Like I'm currently looking at the kill cam, and it's like 13-11, only 13 minutes in. Like, there's almost 2 kills a minute. It was pretty intense.
Yeah.
What do you think TNT needs to do in the losers bracket, in order to like win the next match? Was this like a play error thing, or do you think they could have drafted their team better?
I think they just weren't expecting the blue team to do so well. I'm actually surprised that AI Station was the picked map, and that could work a lot better for Vinny with all of that breathing room he has, being able to just float around and do whatever he wants, unlike something like, say, Agalon. And although that makes it a little more compact for your enemies to have to deal with, you have to deal with it too as a flying character. That's not so fun. AI Station is not a bad map for Vinny, and Red Team, or Team TNT here, didn't really have anything like a Raylan pick, which is like fantastic on AI Station, being able to stall and having all that poke and range on snipe and whatnot. But I think the blue team just surprised them with this draft. I wouldn't say it was strictly a better draft, but the blue team played very well. XiPang Disciples playing fantastically. Body Hunter throwing in the Scoop Hammer, just going ham, doing more damage than Leon and doing almost as much damage as Vinny. Actually kind of insane. And well, yeah, Ksenia might have not been the best pick as well, because Ksenia did about 62,000 damage, just was not enough. It was too dangerous for Ksenia to go in at all. But she still got some stuff done. Well played by all the teams. And I think that's about it for this match. Match. What words?
It's all good. So XiPang Disciples goes on to the winners bracket, and TNT going to go down to the losers bracket. We'll see them again later today. We'll see both of these teams again in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and get the next set properly set up. We're going to go to the winners bracket, I believe, finals next, and that won't take very long to set up. Once we've got that all set up, we'll be right back, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We're going to be back with some more Awesomenauts action in just a little bit.